Take a moment and picture a busy restaurant. Plates are clinking, people are laughing. On the table, there's a bottle so common we barely notice it: ketchup. We squeeze it on fries, we dip nuggets into it, we spread it on burgers. For many of us, ketchup tastes like childhood. But here's the surprising part. For most of its life, ketchup was not red. It was not sweet, and it had nothing to do with tomatoes. So how did this happen? How did one sauce travel across oceans, change cultures, and become a global icon? Tonight, we follow ketchup's real journey, from salty fish jars to shiny factory bottles. This is the true history of ketchup. Our story begins in coastal Asia many centuries ago. Imagine warm air, salty wind, and busy fishing villages. Fishermen had a problem. Fish spoiled quickly in the heat, so they used an old trick: salt and thyme. They packed fish with salt in large jars and left it to sit for weeks or months. Slowly, the fish broke down. A dark liquid formed, strong smell, deep taste, long shelf life. This was not a sauce for fries, it was a cooking boost. A few drops could make plain rice or meat taste powerful. Different regions had different names for it, but the idea was the same: a fermented, salty sauce that lasted a long time. This early ketchup was like the ocean in a bottle. No sugar, no tomatoes, just salty, savory flavor. And then the world opened its trade routes. Now, imagine big wooden ships arriving in Asian ports. European traders were searching for tea, spices, silk, and anything that felt new. Some sailors tasted this fermented sauce. It was strange, but interesting. It made food taste richer. They wanted to bring it home, but shipping it was difficult. Long travel, high price, limited supply. Only wealthy people could afford imported sauces. So Europeans did what humans always do. They tried to copy it. And that is where ketchup began to transform. In European kitchens, cooks experimented. They wanted the same idea: a strong sauce that lasted long and added deep flavor. But they did not have the exact Asian ingredients, so they used what they had: vinegar, spices, anchovies, herbs, sometimes beer or wine. Ketchup became a kitchen secret. It went into soups, stews, and meat dishes. It was still dark, still thin, and still savory, but it kept changing. Soon, ketchup became a whole family of sauces. Now we enter a strange chapter. In Europe, ketchup was made from many things: mushrooms, walnuts, even fruits. Mushroom ketchup became famous. Cooks salted mushrooms, waited, and collected the dark liquid. It tasted earthy and rich. Walnut ketchup was bitter and bold. Green walnuts, vinegar, spices, strong flavor. If you asked for ketchup in this time, you might get something that looked like soy sauce. Imagine pouring mushroom ketchup on fries. It sounds crazy today, but back then people loved it. Still, something big was missing. The thick red ketchup we know today did not exist yet, and the reason was simple: the tomato had not entered the story. Now we travel to the Americas and Europe in the 1700s and early 1800s. Tomatoes were growing in gardens, but many people were afraid of them. Some believed tomatoes were poisonous. Others thought they were dangerous because of old myths. For a long time, tomatoes were treated like decoration, not food. But slowly, opinions changed. People tasted tomatoes and realized they were delicious. Then someone had a new idea. What if ketchup became a tomato sauce? That idea would change food history. In the early 1800s, tomato ketchup appeared in American kitchens. Early tomato ketchup was not like modern ketchup. It was more watery, more spicy, less sweet, and it did not last long. Tomatoes spoil fast, so home cooks had to make ketchup again and again. Still, people loved the flavor. Tomato ketchup felt fresh and exciting. It matched American food culture. It was becoming popular fast, but popularity created a new problem. If ketchup became a product, how could it stay safe inside a bottle? By the mid-1800s, ketchup was sold in stores. Many small sellers made ketchup quickly. No strict rules, no modern food safety laws. Some sellers used bad ingredients, some used dirty bottles, some used harmful chemicals to keep ketchup bright red. And because fermentation could create gas, some bottles built pressure inside. In the worst cases, bottles could leak or explode. People began to doubt store ketchup. They wanted something tasty but safe. Ketchup needed a new standard, a new system. And this is where a famous name enters the story. A smart businessman understood one big truth. If people trust the bottle, they will buy it again. He focused on cleanliness, taste, and consistency. He improved the recipe using safe preservation methods, more vinegar, careful cooking, better balance. This created ketchup that lasted longer without dangerous chemicals. Another smart move, clear bottles. When people could see the ketchup, they trusted it more. Ketchup became thick, smooth, sweet and sour. The taste became stable, every time, the same. This is when modern ketchup was truly born. Now ketchup was not a local sauce. It was a brand, a product, a promise. In the 1900s, ketchup spread like fire. Factories produced ketchup in huge amounts. Trains and ships carried it everywhere. Then fast food rose. Burgers and fries became popular, and ketchup became their best friend. Ketchup was simple, cheap, and loved by kids. It became a global taste. But here's the interesting part. When ketchup enters a new culture, it changes again. Different countries started using ketchup in new ways. Some mixed ketchup into sauces and marinades. Some used it on eggs or rice. Some added local spices to make it hotter or sweeter. In some places, ketchup became a cooking ingredient, not just a dip. It was like ketchup returned to its original job, adding flavor to food. But now it was tomato-based and sweet, a completely new identity. This is the strange magic of ketchup. One word, many meanings, and many cultures. Now let's pause and think. Why do people love ketchup so much? Because it hits many tastes at once: sweet, sour, salty, and savory. It feels comforting. It feels familiar. It makes simple food taste exciting. Ketchup is also a symbol of modern life. Fast, easy, ready. But hidden inside that sweet red sauce is a long journey. Fish jars, trade ships, European experiments, tomato fear, factory science. Ketchup is history you can taste. So the next time you hold a ketchup bottle, take one extra second. Look at the color. Remember, it was once dark and salty. It was once fermented and strong. It was once made from mushrooms and walnuts. And then it became tomato ketchup, a new idea that conquered the world. Ketchup teaches us something simple. Even the most ordinary things in our lives can carry the most surprising stories. A sauce on your fries can connect you to sailors crossing oceans, to cooks experimenting in smoky kitchens, to farmers growing tomatoes, and to factories perfecting a recipe. Thank you for traveling with me through ketchup's true history. Now, I think it's time for fries too.